In a powerful moment on the UN floor, French President Emmanuel Macron has formally recognized the state of Palestine. His words were clear: this is not a reward, it's a right. He was not alone. He was joined by Monaco, Belgium, Andorra, Malta and Luxembourg, bringing the total global recognition to over 75% of the UN membership, the existing present UN membership, that is. The Palestinian delegation, meanwhile, also stood in applause. And what about Israel? Well, its chair sat empty. But tensions have escalated. Israel has warned of potential annexation of the West Bank now. The US called on recognitions provocative and has also threatened reciprocal action. Meanwhile, Israel has intensified its bombardment of Gaza City, killing dozens more as global leaders plead for peace. A proposed UN security force for Gaza, disarmament of Hamas, and a reformed Palestinian Authority now dominate negotiations. But with Israel still opposing recognition and the US divided, the diplomatic road ahead is steep and possibly short. And as Macron said, the time for peace is now or not at all. We're joined by Omair Anas. He is the Associate Professor at the Ankara Yildirim University in Türkiye for more. Professor Anas, my first question to you. Does Israel risk isolating itself diplomatically if annexation follows these recognitions? And to be precise, there have been 12 recognitions in the past 2 days alone.
We have come to a point where we have seen that the entire Islamic and the Arab world and many of European countries are deeply frustrated of Israeli actions and America's unilateral actions about Israel. So what they are faced with is that there is complete collapse of the idea of two-state solution, which means that Israeli occupation of West Bank is coming, and they are much more convinced now that the Israeli politics in Palestine was never in favor of a Palestinian state, a sustainable Palestinian state.
It begs the question, can a reformed Palestinian Authority realistically govern Gaza after Hamas? Because we've not really seen condemnation against Hamas coming in. And the very idea of a reformed Palestinian Authority, how realistic is it? And how much time would this actually take?
The problem is that who will decide what is a reformed Palestinian Authority? For Israelis, for Americans, a reformed Palestinian Authority means a useless authority. And the Arabs and Europeans, they would like to have a credible state institution to take the charge in Gaza and in West Bank as well. So I think that the Israelis have no idea what they are doing. And the kind of anger and frustration which is coming from the Arab world, I think that the region is just a very few days or months away from a major conflict. The streets are very angry. The politicians are angry. Even the countries which had signed the Abraham Accord with Israel in hope that they would get something in return, especially the emergence of some sort of Palestinian Authority, is that they are also very angry. For example, the United Arab Emirates, they had invested so much in peace with Israel, but they have found that the Israelis' plan are for expansionism. And this situation reminds me the events of 1956 when Europeans were supporting Israel for the takeover of the Suez Canal against Egypt. And at that time, Americans had intervened to rescue the Egyptian side, and they had forced Israelis to step back from the Suez Canal occupation.
Well, that I like to say the semantics were rather different. You know, you could compare the 2025 semantics to 1956. I don't think that will be just. But are we witnessing a genuine diplomatic shift here, or just a symbolism that moves really with no teeth? 12 countries have, at least 12 countries have recognized Palestinian statehood only in the last 2 days. The total number stands well above 75% at the UN, but nothing seems to come out of it. Is this just symbolism, or will this have real teeth? Very quickly.
I think that even if it is a symbolic support, symbolic recognition, it is a big step, very big step, because the European public opinion is now becoming very close, very much in favor of Palestinian state. And even American public opinion is coming very close to recognize the Palestinian state. So that is a big blow to Israeli expansion. And Israelis are losing the public opinion in most of its allies' societies. So that is a big challenge for Netanyahu and his government.
A big challenge for Netanyahu. Thank you so much for joining us on this important topic.